The Second World War was a breeding ground for pranks, some top tier and some a waste of valuable resources. Among the most game-changing pranks was the deception codenamed Operation Bodyguard, a super prank with a variety of lesser deceptions wrapped up inside of it. One deception under Bodyguard that was of particular significance to the outcome of the war was Operation Quicksilver, which fell into the lap of old blood and guts Patton, who probably wasn't all too impressed with the assignment. In this video, we discuss Operation Quicksilver and the events which saw the American General George Patton in charge of a fictitious army group. This video is sponsored by Babbel, the #1 language learning app in the world with more than 10 million subscriptions worldwide. Now, when I got the offer from Babbel for a sponsorship, I was really excited. As someone who's learnt a language already and is studying other languages and cultures, I feel this is a great opportunity to pass on that passion to you guys with the awesome language learning tool Babbel. Babbel is truly different from the other language learning apps on the market in that there's no ads ever. Its lessons are built by 100 plus language experts and are voiced by natives, as well as the fact that it really is an app that focuses on learning language for real life, which has always been my preferred method of learning as it makes the process so much more enjoyable and smoother. Now, if you, like me, have a deep interest in the culture, history, and language of countries and want to endeavor to communicate and understand them further, make sure you click the link in the description below for a limited time offer of 50% off a Babbel subscription. By mid-1943, the Western Allies were gearing up to invade Northwest Europe and take back the territory which Hitler had for so long held in his grip. But simply rushing the coastline would not do. The Germans were deeply entrenched, so the situation called for a bit of an outside-the-box approach, a deception. Chiefly, the Allies intended to mislead the Germans about the location of the invasion, which was actually Normandy. As we said, the big picture deception was known as Operation Bodyguard, but Bodyguard was comprised of a number of lesser deceptions, with some of the most important being Operation Fortitude, which was, in itself, comprised of two operations, Fortitude North and Fortitude South. The former pertained to a fictitious invasion of Norway out of northern England, while the latter pertained to a fictitious invasion of Calais, France, out of southern England. The most crucial operation under Fortitude South was Operation Quicksilver. I know, Operation Bodyguard was a serious Matryoshka doll. To serve the purposes of Fortitude South, the main objective of Operation Quicksilver was to trick the German command into thinking that the 1st United States Army Group, or FUSAG, would invade Calais after they, the Germans, had moved their reserves to Normandy, where the Allies intended to stage a diversionary landing. In reality, the Allies' plan was basically the opposite, and most of the divisions composing FUSAG were entirely fictitious. To convince the Germans, the brains behind the operation employed a variety of schemes, with the larger scale schemes falling under 6 sub-operations, Quicksilver 1 to Quicksilver 6. Quicksilver 1 was more about the concept overall and basically encompassed the main objective of the operation, which we just discussed. Quicksilver 2 was all about radio deception, specifically stimulating Allied troop movements, which would more specifically allude to a buildup of manpower in southern England, opposite Calais. Quicksilver 3 involved a physical exhibit of dummy landing craft which were built from wood and canvas, as well as simulated wireless traffic communication and fake road signage. As for Quicksilver 4, it was the only real Quicksilver sub-operation. Allied air forces physically bombed railways and other vital infrastructure in the Calais area, softening it up for invasion. Quicksilver 5 involved an increase in activity around the port of Dover in southeast England, activity which made it seem as if the Allies were rushing to construct wireless stations and other such infrastructure. Lastly, Quicksilver 6 included light shows which simulated nighttime military activity at the site of the dummy landing craft. But the deception really didn't end with Quicksilver 6. In fact, the Allies' most crucial scheme was their use of double agents from MI5's double-cross system, with some of the most noteworthy of these agents including Juan Pujol Garcia or Garbo, Roman Chernyavsky or Brutus, and Dusan Popov or Tricycle. While we have discussed the Spanish double agent codenamed Garbo in a previous video, it's worth noting that he played very much the leading role in Operation Quicksilver, sending over 500 misleading radio messages to the Germans in the lead up to the Normandy landings. as well as managing to convince them that there were 75 Allied divisions gathering in England when there were only around 50. Additionally, the Allies made good use of controlled information leaks, and of course, old blood and guts George Patton's pretty face. If you weren't already familiar with Patton, he was a stern, glory-driven American general who carried 2 ivory-gripped pistols. Patton was a born soldier and proved it on more occasions than one during the Second World War, earning himself the nickname Old Blood and Guts and the respect of even his enemies. His blunt nature, however, also got him into a spot of bother every now and then. During the 1943 Sicily campaign, for example, Patton literally slapped 2 battle-fatigued privates, scoring himself a ticket to the naughty corner. While his superiors barred Patton from commanding a real military force for almost a year, they let him take charge of the Phantom Army Group FUSAG, which, for a time, was actually referred to as Army Group Patton. While there wasn't all that much glory in playing fantasy army commander, Patton would be permitted to take command of the US Third Army in the real invasion of Normandy if he fulfilled his role in Operation Quicksilver, which he did. As for Operation Quicksilver, having Old Blood and Guts around was great for the deception. If German command caught wind that Patton, a formidable, well-known Allied general, was commanding FUSAG, they would take the threat of an invasion via Calais even more seriously and fall even deeper into the trap. All in all, with the combined efforts of Quicksilver 1 through to 6, the efforts of various double agents, and the mug of Old Blood and Guts, the Germans totally fell for it. Even after the Allies struck the beaches of Normandy in full force in June 1944, the Germans still believed the landings were a diversion from the real invasion, which would soon take place at Calais. As such, they left 15 reserve divisions in Calais. After D-Day, the Allies continued to support the notion that FUSAG was real, persuading the Germans that the army group had simply moved to Normandy after the, in quotation marks, diversion at Normandy had become an unintentional success. In the words of German-born American military historian Gerhard L. Weinberg, the German 15th Army was in the Calais region expecting the real invasion, and it remained there until the Allied breakout from Normandy in July. It waited there for an invasion that never came. Given that the Allies had a good deal of trouble on June 6, it's likely they would have been thrown back into the sea if the Germans had been able to concentrate their main forces at Normandy. While Operation Quicksilver was a crucial component of Operation Fortitude and, in turn, Operation Bodyguard, it was by no means the sole reason why the Western Allies were able to gain a foothold in Europe. At the end of the day, bullets still had to be fired and blood still had to be spilt. But we're interested to hear what you think. Had you heard of Operation Quicksilver before this video? What about General Patton slapping a pair of battle-fatigued privates? Lastly, how vital do you think Quicksilver was to the overall success of the Normandy landings? Let us know all this and more in the comment section below. And just to catch you guys before you click off to the next suggested video, if you guys are looking for another even more high quality history channel where we take a look at all the different badasses from all eras of history, you're gonna love our new channel called The Braved. That link is in the description below if you want to check it out. If you're more into the musical side of things, make sure you check out our Relax Jack music channel, where we take some of the music posted there and use it in the background of the videos here. And if you want to further support us and get access to a behind the scenes Discord and some exclusive videos, check out our Patreon. And if you just want to join us on our wider community, check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and Discord. Anyways guys, as always, thank you so much for watching and I hope to see you in the next video.